Alrighty. Well, here we go. So thank you for watching this, the 128th episode of the YWAM News Show podcast. I'm your host, Bill Hutchison. You can contact us, subscribe to future episodes, leave comments, and find links to all the stories that we talk about. Watch all the videos just on the show notes at ywampodcast.com/128. We're going through a few different stories about what's been happening in the last little while. I'm just going to focus on the last month, sort of some of the highlights about what's been happening around Youth with a Mission. We'll start with the story that's featured right now on YWAM.org, and that's about the floods that are happening in Pakistan right now. So Pakistan has been devastated, with over 1/3 of the country being inundated with unprecedented floods. There's over 30 million people who've been affected, with millions of livelihoods destroyed. Camps have been set up for the survivors, but food and clean drinking water are scarce in the area at the moment. So YWAM has 10 teams in Pakistan. They've been offering help, even though many of their own homes have been flooded out. So they've been able to distribute hundreds of food packages, as well as mosquito nets, tents, and medicine. You can actually help those in Pakistan by supporting the ministry. Right now, one of the main things that they do need is the finances, so they can purchase the food and water that is needed there. If you head over to YWAM.org, you can find the story, and you can find out about how you might be able to get involved and how you can help and make some donations for the Pakistani floods and the work that YWAM is doing there. So one of the other things that YWAM has been does every month is our prayer initiative called The Invitation. And one of the focus this month, last month actually, in October, was to pray to end Bible poverty. Now, over on the post at ywam.org, it goes into a lot more detail about how you can pray, how you can get involved, and also how you can share how God has led you and how you prayed. But 4 ways that you could look at praying to end Bible poverty is that you can pray for the translations and publications. You can pray for the distribution of the Bibles, pray for biblical education for people after they've received their Bibles, and also pray for the Habakkuk Initiative to holistically disciple 80 nations in 10 years. So you can find out more about the prayer initiative, including what the prayer focus is for November, over on ywam.org/theinvitation. This prayer initiative letter is actually sent out in multiple languages. So if you head over there, you'll be able to find it in, last month we had it in English, French, Polish, Korean, Bahasa Indonesian, Thai, Spanish, and Hindi. So it's a way for so many people from around the world to join together and to pray. We'll be releasing on the second Thursday of every month is when the prayer initiative, we want to sort of have that focus thing from happening around the world. And if you visit ywam.org/theinvitation, you can find out what the new initiative will be for November and what we'll be doing there. YWAM Medical Ships Australia has been operating the YWAM Dental semi-trailer in Port Moresby last month. The pilot program saw over 120 students undergo oral health screening, and more than 300 students received oral health education. We have a story from a local PNG news location, and they'll actually we'll have a listen to them and see what happened during this time.
22 volunteers participated in this pilot program, including 2 dentists, 1 dental therapist, and 4 dental assistants from both Australia and PNG. Over 125 dental procedures, including restorations and extractions, were provided. YWAM has been conducting mobile dental clinics in PNG for over 10 years through the medical ship and land-based teams, with the majority of services being offered in rural areas. During this time, nearly 44,000 dental treatments have been provided in collaboration with provincial health authorities, local dentists, and health workers. The Chief Executive Officer for NCD Provincial Health Authority, Dr. Stephen Yenny, stressed that dental services are a significant need in NCD. He said this dental trailer program aligns with their current plan to expand these services, and they look forward to working with YWAM to maximize the benefits of the program to the communities in NCD.
This trailer is one of its first of its kind in NCD, donated particularly to look at addressing the oral health issues for both children and adults. And NCDPHA is very pleased to be a partner with YWAM in signing a MOU last year to be able to strengthen the dental services within NCD. There is a huge demand in the oral and hygiene care service in NCD. So we were looking at capacity to be able to build in terms of getting partners to help us provide this similar service in NCD. We don't have capacity at the moment. NCDPHA is currently as an existing MOU with UPNG. We have dental doctors there providing oral health services at UPNG. And this facility is a fully fitted facility with dental chairs, equipments, biomedical setup, inbuilt power system to be able to provide all the different oral care.
One of the YWAM Medical SIP's volunteer from Wabukori, Vanuatu Aiga, said that it was a joy to start work with the YWAM Dental trailer, and it has been eye-opening for her to see the need in a greater way in a community.
It's been exciting because this is our very first program that we are running today, and we did a lot of checkups and screening with the children, and we did a lot of education on oral and nutrition. And this is very special for me because I've been here with the school when I was young, and coming back and being part of this program and services, it's very, very blessing to see these services reach my people and see so many parents being filled with happy and joy.
The YWAM Dental trailer's arrival and pilot has been supported by a range of companies, including Henry Sein, Octedi Mining, Agliti Logistics, Mills Dental Care, and Ella Motors. Esther Gane, National MTV News.
So what also happened this month over there in PNG with YWAM ships is that they actually received 2 brand new patrol boats, and they just arrived this month.
These Viking boats are an incredible upgrade. Just the amount of people that they can carry, the reliability and the range is an improvement on our current vessel, and then also just the safety and that whole side of it is really important as well.
So the ships were provided for YWAM ships in PNG with a partnership that they had actually with YWAM ships Norway. So the patrol boats were manufactured in Norway in a joint effort between YWAM medical ships and Australia to really serve the people of Papua New Guinea. So you can head over to ywamships.org if you do want to find out more about the ministry, more about how these ships are being used, more about how the dental trailer is being used, and just the way that they are partnering with the local organizations as well, and really getting to some of these remote communities that don't have ready access to these kind of medical facilities that Youth of the Mission is able to provide for them. YWAM's been working in the Ukraine for many years, and this year has been exceptionally challenging for them, as well as so many citizens in the Ukraine, just with everything that is happening there and the conflict that's happening. So with winter coming up, YWAM has been actively working with local communities and teams from around Europe to build 100 homes for some of the many families that have been displaced due to the conflict that's happening. In partnerships with Homes of Hope, YWAM has actually raised the funds to build 100 insulated homes and are working to get them all built before winter. So you can head over to ywamkiev.org to find out about how you can help with the YWAM ministry that's happening in Ukraine, not only with these Homes of Hope that they're trying to get built, but also with just providing so much for the needs of the people that are there and the people that are suffering during this conflict. Right now, something that I actually haven't seen in mainstream media, but what we were able to just hear from some of our YWAM teams is that there is quite bad flooding right now in Accra, Ghana. So we have a message from one of our teams there and just some of the needs that they have right now with the challenges that they're facing.
Go. Hey guys, so we are just here in Ghana, in Accra, in Waja. So we are just experiencing a big flood. A lot of people's houses has been flooded, and the water levels, it's still rising. We are just asking that you can stand in prayer with us, and is there anything you guys want to send or any contributions. We are busy with the outreach this side. We have an outreach team, and we are praying in how we can engage. So if you guys wanna support us, please, we will leave our details at the bottom of the video. Thank you, and God bless you. No, we have more video separate ones.
So the details that they had on the bottom were a link to actually to their website, which is YWAMAcra.org, which again will link to everything we talk about. We will link to at YWAMpodcast.com/128, so you can follow up and see what else is happening. So if you head over to the YWAM Accra Seabreeze website, you can find out more about their ministry and just how you can help with the team trying to help recover from the flooding that is happening there. At the end of 2021, God provided enough finances for the V to Life Association, which is part of YWAM Vanuatu and the school building project. So at the end of 2021, God provided enough to start building a new cyclone-safe building for the Tioma Christian Academy in Vanuatu. Right now, the walls have already been built. And once complete, it'll be able to house 2 full-size classrooms, 5 self-contained toilets, and a staff room. And now that the walls are up in the classroom, YWAM Vanuatu is praying for the final $100,000 to come in so that they can have the room installed. Their current classrooms are all full, and they're actually unable to accept any new students at the moment to the academy. So the desire is to see the building completed by the start of the new year in 2023. So YWAM Aotearoa has completed their 4th and final Fiji outreach for 2022. They've just returned to New Zealand, and here is just an update about their time.
Hey, kia ora team. Thank you for being on this journey with us of empowering health in the Pacific. Your support means so much to us. Today I want to give you an update right from the ship. So I'm just going to hand it over to Trevor, and he's going to share what the amazing things that they're witnessing up there in Fiji, right there off the island of Kawawa, up in the north.
Over the last 2 weeks, we've been serving in the Namuka district of Fiji, and it's been an amazing 2 weeks. We've been able to treat around 200 medical and 200 dental patients, and we've had some amazing testimonies. One of my favorite testimonies is that we've actually been able to provide oral health education for around 300 people, which is amazing because it means that hopefully in the future, we won't have to treat them as patients. One of my other favorite testimonies is that we were able to treat a young girl. She came in and she had so much pain in one of her teeth. After a quick visit with the dentist, they were able to extract the tooth, but while the dentist was there, he realized that there was so much buildup on that side of her mouth because she was in so much pain that she wasn't actually even able to chew on that side of her mouth. One of my other favorite testimonies is that we had a young boy who came in and was so scared, so nervous about visiting the dentist. But our dentist was able to treat him with respect, was able to calm him down, create a fun environment, and they were able to actually treat this boy, fill one of his cavities. And the next day, the dentist went to visit the village, and the boy came running up in excitement, showing the tooth that had just been filled, just with pride in his heart. And so we just want to say a huge thank you to our dentists who have come along, Dr. Hadley, Dr. Abby. They've done amazing work over these last 2 weeks. And a huge thank you to our medical doctors as well, Dr. Erina and Dr. Jono. And we are so excited to continue serving in this area in some of the coming weeks.
Man, I love hearing those stories. So thankful for Trevor and the whole team up there and what they're doing.
Good to me. God is good. God is good.
So during the recent outreach, the teams were able to minister to many people. They went to 2 different islands, Tatoya and Rabi. They managed to treat 276 patients. They did 337 tooth extractions, 113 tooth restorations and fillings. They did scalings. They also did 350 plus were given oral health education, toothbrushes, and toothpaste. If you actually head over to their website, which is YWAMshipsaotearoa.org.au, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, but again, follow the link at ywam.org. At ywampodcast.com/128. You can link straight to their website and find out more about their trips that they conducted this year. That report was just from the fourth outreach that they did into Fiji this year. And then next year they'll be going and back and doing more. So head over to their website and you can find out more about what they did. So one of the things that YWAM has been actively involved with around the world, especially in the remote areas, is the showing of the Jesus film. So recently they were able to show the Jesus film in a village outside of Magwi, South Sudan. And towards the end of the film, they heard the sound of many repeating the salvation prayer in the local language. One of the great things about the Jesus film is that it's been translated into so many different languages. So to give it just so much access to people around the world. I've actually downloaded the Jesus film app on my phone, and you can access all those languages there. And I think last I checked, there was over 80. There could be even more than now, because I haven't checked for quite a few months. But that app and that film has had such an impact, and it's great to see that being shown around the world with some of the YWAM teams that are still showing it at so many different places. So a YWAM film about the story of hope, education, and awareness called Beyond the Island premiered recently in Papua New Guinea. Just play you a bit of a story about it and about the impact that it's having.
This heartfelt story, in collaboration with NGO I Care For You, is about a woman called Sylvia John who had literally lived a life of hellish experiences, but found a way out for the sake of her children. Sylvia John from Popondetta escaped secrecy surrounding HIV to say no, and despite being enslaved, deprived of food and school as a child, she finds a way to overcome the stigma of HIV and care for her children. Rising above the rejection and abuse she suffers, she finds strength to voice her story of hope.
Me look him, all family member lo me, all cousin lo me plenty die, me look stop. Same, na fear lo, one more not man ting, and make him normal and more less lo go for it na kisim test na kisim help, ante kisim marasin.
Also tino se memora ito by start no by die one time is last sick. But Mr. Pokemon stay plagar or picking in time you play die or picking in outside look out in more lipra must strong.
HIV is no longer a death sentence. Marcinum stop finish.
So again, that video is called Beyond the Island, and was a YWAM film that was produced in partnership with the I Care For You ministry over in Papua New Guinea. So Benny Basrad, who is actually someone that I've had the privilege of meeting and working with, and a fellow YWAMer, actually broke the world record about 10 years ago and became the fastest to travel to every nation in the world. On the YWAM YouTube channel, Benny has started to share some of the amazing stories that have happened while visiting every nation in the world. We'll share a bit of his first story with you now, so you can just hear the message from Benny and just hear a little bit about what God is doing and how God just enabled him to do this in such a short amount of time.
Dear friends, welcome to my first episode of my world record travels. And today, I'm going to focus on how I made it to Pakistan. In fact, I'm wearing a shirt that's made in Pakistan when I got it there. And it's very special to talk about this incident in my life. It was on this very day, 10 years ago, when I arrived in Pakistan and I broke the world record. I knew that getting to Pakistan was a challenge because of the political problems that we have between India and Pakistan. But I did not know that it will be such an impossible task. I took a flight and went to Delhi and went to the Pakistan High Commission, and I told them I've traveled to almost every country in the world and Pakistan is the last country. Can you please help me get a visa? They said there's only two ways you can get your visa. One, if you have a blood relative in Pakistan, or if the government invites you. Now, I'm a Pakka South Indian. I have no Pakistani blood or relative in my family. And I have no idea how to get an invitation from the government of Pakistan because I have no links. So I lost almost all my hope except holding on to the promise that Jesus had given me in 2002, saying, Benny, I will take you to every nation by 2010. It so happened that I was in North Korea and I was taken to a hotel called Yanggakdo. It's a 43-story hotel. And I took the lift and I came out of the 32nd floor. As I was walking out of the lift, I saw two men walking towards the lift. And I heard them speak in a language which sounded like Hindi. And I was so excited and I turned around and I said, wow, you're speaking in Hindi. They turned around and said, no, this is Urdu. And so they asked me, who are you? I told them and I asked them, who are you? And they said, we are the official delegation from the Parliament of Pakistan. So I told them, your country is the last country for me to go. So they told us to meet me at their room at 10 o'clock in the night. And when they gave me their room number, I was shocked. It was diagonally opposite to my room. Just imagine, in a 43-story hotel, you are on the same floor, literally opposite to each other. It is literally a God incidence rather than a coincidence. So at 10 o'clock in the night, I took my guitar, went into their room and started to play my favorite song, My Jesus, My Savior, Lord, There Is None Like You. After I finished performing on that, we had a chat and I was surprised that the man sitting opposite to me was Mr. Nisar Ahmad Kuro, who was the speaker of the Sindh province over there in Pakistan. He was very gentle and kind and he said, don't worry about the visa, I will help you get it. I was so excited. Well, we parted our ways. I came back to India and I started to apply once again for Pakistan visa. This time I had a connection. So I went to Delhi. I was so sure of getting my visa because this man had assured and he had also informed the embassy. I asked my friend Titus Koshi that can I stay in your house for 2 days and I'll get my visa and I'm off to Pakistan. He was very gracious. His family were very kind to me. And 2 days went on for 19 days. Every single day, I was hoping for the visa to come through. In fact, I remember making 334 phone calls in 4 days, and every single phone call was rejected from the Ministry of External Affairs in Islamabad. I lost all my hope. So I told Titus, I don't think this is going to work. So I came back to Bangalore. I'm reaching at the threshold of finishing 2010. I have the promise, but in terms of reality, I don't see any hope at all. I still remember getting a phone call on the 19th of November at 2:53 p.m. And it was the ambassador of Pakistan from New Delhi who called up and said, I just got a phone call from Mr. Nisar Ahmad Kuro. Can you come to the embassy and we will issue the visa on Monday? I was just so thrilled. And I'll tell you, I just want to tell you a little bit about what happened on that special day, 22nd of November, which happened to be a Monday. I took a flight, went to Delhi on Sunday night, and on Monday morning, this is what happened. At 9:34 a.m., I reported at the Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi. At 11:09, my passport was received by the visa officer. At 12:11 afternoon, my visa was granted. At 12:36 p.m., I arrived at the Pakistan International Airlines office because without getting your visa, you will not be able to get your air ticket. 12:51, my tickets were issued, but I'm on waiting list. At 1:30 p.m., I arrived at the New Delhi International Airport. And by 2 o'clock, I was given my boarding pass, but I'm still on waiting list. Suspense keeps going on. At 2:20, I'm cleared from waiting list. And at 2:45, I boarded the plane. And at 5:55 p.m., I arrived in Karachi, Pakistan, and I broke the world record and became the fastest man to travel to every country in the shortest time. That is, both sovereign and dependent countries, including Antarctica, in 6 years, 6 months, and 22 days. Dear friends, during this time of pandemic. Might be you are at the threshold of giving up. In fact, we have come to the end of this year. There might be so much of hope that is gone, so much of dreams that are broken and shattered. And we don't know what to do, and we don't even know what to expect next year. I want to tell you, I was in that place 10 years ago with regards to Pakistan. And God intervened in such a beautiful and amazing manner. Of all the places in North Korea, I found the help that I needed in order to go to Pakistan. I want to tell you, in the most darkest places, in the most difficult seasons that you might be in, you can still find a ray of light, hope that you can find through Jesus Christ. That is my personal testimony. And I hope that this story will encourage you and will inspire you to hold on to hope for a brighter future. Once again, if you like this story, please do subscribe and also click that bell icon so that you can get notified every time I tell a story on YouTube. And do share it with your friends so that this story of hope and this story of transformation can become a blessing to others. God bless you all.
So they're updating, so far they've uploaded 5 of Benny's stories, and I've listened to some of them, and they're just amazing. Like I said, I've met Benny in person as well, just to hear some of the stories, to hear his testimony, and just about how God has led him and really ministered to and through him is quite amazing. So you can head over to the YWAM YouTube channel, and there's a playlist that I've linked to at YWAMpodcast.com/128 that you can follow, and then you can just check out all 5 of the stories that have already been there and have a listen and a watch. So one thing that has happened recently that is quite sad is that Open Doors founder and famed Bible smuggler Brother Andrews has died at the age of 95. Now, Brother Andrews had been involved with Youth of the Mission for many years. I remember editing some of his teachings that were from from 30, 40 years ago when he was teaching at Youth of the Mission. And his influence continues to be very evident within Youth of the Mission. For more than 60 years, Open Doors founder Brother Andrew visited over 125 countries in service of the global church. And last month, Brother Andrew went home to be with God after spending his life in service. God used Andrew's obedience and prayers to change millions of lives and eternities. And we are grieving, but also equally thankful. So Brother Andrew, in one of his final interviews, stated that the thing he wants to be remembered for most was that he was a disciple of Jesus Christ, which is something that we should all, as believers, be working towards. So how can we be a better disciple? How can we serve and honor God in all that we do? So we will end there. We want to celebrate Brother Andrew's life and what God did in him and through him, and try to do that in our own lives as well. So I do thank you for joining us for this live presentation of the YWAM News Show. We'll be editing this and uploading it in both audio podcast form, as well as uploading it to the YWAM Podcast YouTube channel, where you can check it out and watch it again. So you can find links to all these stories over at YWAMpodcast.com/128. Also, if you head over to YWAMpodcast.com/subscribe, you can subscribe to receive emails about the future episodes of the YWAM News Show, as well as find links to the YouTube channel, the podcast, and everything else there. So thank you so much. If you like the program, tell a friend. And also, I guess like Benny said, for the YWAM channel, you can like and subscribe this and receive updates for future live streams, where you can also, if you get there live, you can chat and send your messages. So thank you so much, and we will talk to you next time.